Welcome to the Happy Halloween Stitch Along. This is just a section on assembly because this one is a little bit tricky. Not too bad, but I don't want to scare anybody. If you're not scared with me in this, don't be scared of the pattern, that's for sure. But just a few little tips. First off, when you get your trick-or-treat row done and you've made your checkerboard row, as I said in the pattern, make sure that you end on the right under the treat portion with a white one or your blank one, whichever one is what's your blank color. And the reason for that is because we want to leave space for the rickrack to come down to meet the spider, which is on the candy corn row. So what you'll do is attach the trick-or-treat to the checkerboard and then to the candy corn row, and then put your piece of rickrack down and straight stitch it. Then at that point you'll want to put your applicator spider on, and then you can do the details on the spider for his little legs. And isn't it a shame they have 8 legs? My goodness. Couldn't they have been an ant with only 6? Good grief. But anyway, that's the trick for that. And of course in the pattern I talked about using this jumbo rickrack and how I prepare the rickrack to use. I do find it easier to do that preparation step because I don't like to deal with it fraying. It just bothers me when it's all over the place. And this way you zigzag and you sort of finish off the seam, then you cut the other little portion of the little rickrack off and you throw that away, and this goes on here. So you want to do that to each end of your cats, and then you can attach the rickrack row to the cats. There really is no trick. Well, on the checkerboard for the lower one, I ask you to put your blank one on this side. It's just to kind of balance it out. And then you'll want to attach your monsters, which have the rickrack spider should already be, the web portion should already be on the fabric when you get ready to attach the rows. So then you'll have all this together. Then you'll want to make your checkerboard rows, and I'll tell you how many in each side here, which I can't remember exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 assorted colors, and then you have your blank colors. You want to make sure when you attach these to the side, well, first you're going to put on your inner border, but when you attach these to the sides, you want to make sure that you start with a color on each side so that it ends up down here with a white one. And that's important because when you attach your top portion, follow the directions, because if you'll notice, one starts with the solid and ends in solid. This one on the bottom starts with your assorted fabrics and ends on assorted. That way, as you travel around the checkerboard, it's all opposite. None of the colors will run into each other, which would drive me bonkers. As far as quilting goes, we have a long arm quilting machine, and it's computerized, so we're able to pick out some designs that we can use specifically for the quilt. This one has, it was a trick-or-treat or Halloween candy pattern in it. Really kind of difficult to see, and probably wouldn't do it again because it's not really worth the effort. It took quite a bit of time. For the checkerboard portions, on all of them I just did a straight stitch in between, just kind of hold that down, and then actually did nothing on the colored portions. This way I adhered the solid portions down because it makes a good feel to attach the buttons to it. These are the 1-inch buttons. Again, you can get those from us in a kit for this quilt as well, but find 1-inch buttons are everywhere. You can probably find some at your local quilt shop or that J store. I guess I could say that J store. Joann's. And then this row is just tiny little swirly deals that I just swirled in behind it. And then this one is zigzag and straight lines in between these guys just to kind of hold them down. I echoed behind the pumpkins because, again, there's not much space. And then I did one of my favorite things to do, which is pebbling, and I pebbled behind the monsters. It kind of picked up on their dotted, spotted bodies. And did not do anything in the outer border because I just didn't want to. But if you do something in the outer border, you want to make sure that you take into consideration that you're going to have this rickrack, if you're using it, is going to come in. So in this particular quilt, it doesn't give you much space, maybe about 1 inch, to have some type of border on there. Or actually, this one, if you did straight lines through this, it wouldn't matter if the rickrack went over your design. So you'll just have to consider what you do, which kind of border treatment you choose for this. I think it's fine without it. And then, of course, make a sleeve so you can hang it up and enjoy your happy Halloween quilt. Boo! Thanks for joining us.